What's up, guys? How we doing? How we doing? I appreciate you being here. First, real quick, I just wanted to say I'm sorry my video yesterday wasn't a normal Jeremy Ramblins video. I tried talking about something that I should have just made as its own separate video, and what I tried talking about was really hard to condense down to 15 minutes. It really needs more to flesh out everything. Um, I love my grandmother to death. As a kid, she was like my only role model. She was successful, and I really looked up to her. And as an adult, I'm starting to realize that's not the case. And that's really not something you can talk about in 15 minutes. She is emotionally manipulative, and emotionally abusive and unsupportive, and rather than talk about her being a crappy boss, whatever, I should have made a video just about that on its own and tried to talk about it more. And instead, I just tried to shoo it in, and so it didn't make for the best video. I apologize about that. Today, we're going to talk about anorexia. Um, as you know, I've talked about how I've been trying to gain weight. If you look at my first week of videos, I am way skinnier than I am now. I was at 100 pounds. Persephone was born, and I gained a little bit of weight. I went to 150, and then I lost 50 pounds. And there's this misconception around anorexia that it's basically starving yourself, that like people like choose not to eat. Anorexia is the inability to feel hunger. Now, some people do stress so much about becoming overweight that they malnourish themselves and exercise to the point that they're at a calorie deficit and they don't eat much, so that leads to the inability to feel hunger. So there's a bunch of different ways you can become anorexic, and I think that's why that's what the misconception is that you're basically just starving yourself if you're anorexic. But at the end of the day, anorexia itself is the inability to feel hunger, and there's a lot of different ways to get there. Like when you are hungry and you're craving a cheeseburger, you're craving food, you're just generally hungry, you start to produce more saliva, your stomach expands, and then whenever you eat, it's easier to eat and digest and swallow the food and whatnot. When you don't feel hunger and you try to make yourself eat and your body isn't doing those things, it becomes damn near impossible to eat. Like your body almost rejects it. You just sit here chewing and chewing and chewing, and just a couple bites hurt your stomach, like. And there's a lot of things that causes anorexia. For me, it wasn't really my divorce. I was kind of suffering from it before. I was working a job that required me to work 12 hours straight with no breaks, and so I was drinking like Boost shakes to get through the day. And over time, due to not eating very much, my body just got to where, like, all right, well, we're not hungry anymore, And so, like, stress and not eating regularly can lead to that, And we live in a time where a lot of people are stressed out. And if you're stressed and you're going days without eating, your body starts getting used to that, and you stop getting hungry, basically. My advice and how I gain the weight is these shakes. Now, it doesn't specifically have to be the weight gain shakes. These are pretty expensive. Food Stamps does cover them. They're 360 calories. They're 14 grams in fat, 14 grams in protein, 45 grams in carbs, 360 calories is huge. And these are a little more expensive than the regular ones, but even the regular ones will suffice. They're basically a meal in a bottle. And I drink 2 of these a day along with a smoothie. Now, I make a smoothie with whatever your favorite fruits are. You know, I usually use a little couple strawberries, a couple blackberries, a bunch of raspberries, a bunch of blueberries, and then milk, Activia yogurt specifically because of the probiotics in it, and some of the Activia yogurts have a lot of fiber in it. And then I add whipped cream to it to put more calories in there to make it a little bit fattier and a little bit creamier. And so boost shakes, smoothies, and then peanut butter. Now, peanut butter is great because I'm also hypoglycemic, which is having low blood sugar. And peanut butter, you know, has a lot of sugar in it, a lot of calories, a lot of protein. And so if you can't afford to get these shakes, my best advice would be to make smoothies. Find some type of powder like Morning Kick from Chuck Norris, or a powder at the store that has vitamins and like basically the daily nutrients that you need that you can add to that smoothie. And then throughout the day, I'm not shitting you, just eat some peanut butter. Eat peanut butter and banana, peanut butter and marshmallow sandwich. You know, the bread is good. And try to eat 1 hot meal a day. You know, most people eat 3 times a day, but 1 hot meal a day, whether it's a couple bites of mac and cheese, whether it's a little bit of chicken noodle soup, or you know, a sloppy Joe, something. Now, it took a long time to get used to that. Like, I wasn't consistent. I would drink 1 of these instead of 2, and then I would go a day and a half, 2 days without eating, and trying to consistently do it at the same time every day. So, like, if you're able to get these, I would drink 2 of these a day, do a smoothie every day, eat peanut butter throughout the day, and try to eat 1 hot thing a day. If you can't afford these, what I would do is make 2 smoothies a day, and again, try to eat peanut butter throughout the day, something like it, and something hot, or maybe just nuts, you know. Like, if you're not a big peanut butter fan, maybe just nuts, you know. The powders out there like Morning Kick help a lot. At the end of the day, you know, going to a doctor, a dietitian is very important too, to figure out what's causing you to be anorexic in the first place. But it's hard. It's hard because, like, when I started making smoothies, I sucked at it. I would make one day, and then I would go 3 days without making one, and then would make one, and then would go 3 days, and then would make one. You gotta try to, at the same time every day, consistently make one every day. And, you know, if you can't get these, I would drink 2. And I would drink 1 smoothie with the powder, 1 smoothie without it, peanut butter throughout the day, and then try to eat 1 hot thing. And try staying on top of the schedule of making that smoothie every day, rather than make one day and then give yourself a pat on the back for, you know, consuming it and then go 3 days without it. Like, that's literally how it is. Like, you'll go 3 days without eating and not give it any thought, and like, just eat a couple spoonfuls of peanut butter. Like, I know it sounds nuts, but that's legitimately how it is. Like, literally, there's been several weeks where the only thing I ate was a couple spoonfuls of peanut butter and a shake. And so now I'm at the point where I'm finally consistently making a smoothie every day at the same time, consistently drinking 2 of these a day, and at night trying to eat something hot. And that's the hardest part, because see, you don't have to be hungry to down one of these. You don't have to be really hungry to down a smoothie, and you don't really have to be that hungry to eat a couple spoonfuls of peanut butter or make a peanut butter marshmallow sandwich. But you do got to be hungry to try to eat something hot. But this is a process. This is a step-by-step process, you know. I'm not trying to overwhelm you with information that, you know, it's a slow process, but yeah, you start to get into the habit of drinking the shakes. Now you've got that down. Start to get into the habit of drinking the smoothies. Now you're doing that every day. Start to get into the habit of eating some solids with the peanut butter banana, peanut butter, marshmallow cream sandwich, nuts, and then try eating something hot at the end of the night. A couple bites of mac and cheese, half a burger, half a sloppy Joe, a Jimmy Dean's croissant. And once you're in this habit, you know, your body starts to crave that smoothie every day. It starts to crave that hot meal at night. It's a slow process. So I'm not saying go out and do all this tomorrow, you know. For me, it's silly, but it was Jimmy Dean croissant, you know, the sausage, egg, and cheese croissants at night. That was my hot meal. You know, I'd make her dinner and I would eat that. And, you know, eventually, when you get into this habit, you do start to crave it. You know, the same way your body unlearned the ability to feel hunger, you can teach it to do it again. It's just a process. This has just been my experience with it, you know. It took me a while to get in the habit of even drinking 2 shakes a day and staying disciplined there, and then introducing a smoothie. It took me a while to make sure I'm actually doing the smoothie every day along with the shakes. And then after finally doing that, after finally getting to the point where I was drinking a smoothie a day, 2 shakes, I would try to eat something hot whenever I cooked dinner for her. Usually I just cook dinner for her and I don't eat. And, you know, now I'm trying to sit down and actually eat, and it's kind of working. You know, like, not every night's a success. I'll sit down, I'll try to eat, I'll eat like half a sloppy Joe, and I'll be like, I just can't eat this, and give it to the dog or whatever. But when you start to do that, your body does start to crave it. You know, your body will start to, okay, well, where's my smoothie? You've been giving me a smoothie every day at this time, and you'll start to, you know, and it'll start to be the same at night. You'll start to get hungry at night, crave that one hot meal, and like, that's where I'm at. And you know, hopefully I get to where I'm just eating 3 times a day. That would be the goal. But you know, being anorexic, man, it is literally like just being at a calorie deficit every day. And not only are these a big help, not only is peanut butter a big help, but the smoothies are great for you. Fattening them up with the whipped cream and the yogurt is good for you. Like, your digestive system is your second brain. You know, if you're not eating, it causes you to just be lethargic, low energy, you know, depressed. You feel like you got like a cloud over you. And if you suffer from it, you know, and you found this video, just know that you're not alone. I know it's hard. I know it sucks. And this is what's personally helped me. You know, I'm lucky that I'm able to get these shakes. If you can't get the weight gain one specifically, a regular Boost shake will work. They're cheaper. This is basically like 2 Boost shakes in one, you know, and so you can still go with the other ones, and that's still good to drink 2 of those a day. I'm just fortunate that I'm able to get these, you know, and But if you can't get the shakes, period, because they're too expensive, then if I was in that situation, what I would do is I would get a powder to add to the smoothie that has the vitamins that these do, and then I would probably make a second smoothie and just eat peanut butter throughout the day, couple spoonful, like a snack, peanut butter and banana, peanut butter and marshmallow cream sandwich, and then try to eat something hot. Anyways, I hope this helps. You know, if you found this video, just know you're not alone, and this is something that, you know, really sucks to deal with, and I feel for you, and I know it's a miserable experience, and I hope this helps a little, you know. This is just what's worked for me, and I'm finally getting to the point where at night I'm starting to get a little hungry and want something hot, some solid food. So yeah, I hope this helps somebody. Just always remember it's a process. You know, it's a process. Introduce this thing one day till you get that down every day. Introduce the next, then introduce the next. Don't beat yourself up if one day, you know, you forget to make the smoothie or whatever. It's a process, you know. And love you guys. Thank you for watching.